looked ahead at the target, then glanced at Jinu next to me. My teacher shouted loudly,
1, 2, 3, start!
I ran like my legs had jet boosters on. In no time, I was way ahead of Jinu-ish. By the time I hit the finish line, he was still dragging his feet over, face flushed and hair all over the place. Hi, I'm Rumi, and that guy is Jinu. We've known each other forever, but instead of being childhood besties, we turned out to be full-on rivals. We've been competing since we were kids, and it just never stopped. We grades, sports, talent shows, and… I hate to admit it, but I've never beaten him. Not once. Well, okay. When we were little, I used to win the races. But somehow, the older we got, the faster he improved. And now, it's always Jinu first, just second. But there's no way I'm backing down. Someday, I will beat him. Mark my words. The school was about to host Battle of the Week, a full-on showdown between boys and girls. What a coincidence. Jinu and I got picked to represent each team.
Guess we're rivals again.
I'm gonna win this time.
Cool. Can't wait to see if magic happens.
I swear I'm wiping that smug look off his face myself. First thing I did was collecting the girls for a strategy meeting.
We're gonna win this. We'll show those smug boys we're not just some weak little flowers.
Yes, let's go.
Then I threw together a detailed training schedule for everyone. No breaks. Morning was for physical training. 3 laps around the field in under 15 minutes.
Push it. Keep going. One by one, the girls made it back, except for Chloe, who was still struggling along.
I made it. Chloe, you're a minute behind. We gotta go faster.
Next up, puzzle practice.
How many positive integers under 100 are divisible by both 3 and 4, but not 5? I think 7. Took you 2 minutes to figure that out. That's not gonna cut it. Time to brush up.
In the afternoon, it was volleyball practice. Not easy. Especially with Kylie, the glam queen who'd never touched a volleyball in her life. Instead of catching the ball, she dodged it like it was a bomb.
Kylie, you're supposed to catch it, not run from it.
But how? It's coming so fast.
So I spent the whole afternoon teaching her the basics. And most importantly, don't freak out when it comes flying. By the time we were all wiped out, we crashed onto the court for a break.
Hey, think the boys are training too? Wanna go spy?
Smart move. You gotta know your enemy.
So I dragged Kylie and Chloe to the boys' side of the field, and yep, they were grinding just as hard. Relays, push-ups, yelling and hyping each other up, sweaty and intense. Watching that only fired me up more.
We need to push even harder. Hello? Are you listening?
They weren't saying a word, so I turned to look, only to find Chloe and Kylie straight up drooling over the boys. Oh, for the love of snacks! I yanked both of them away before they got completely spellbound. All that grinding totally paid off. We didn't just meet our goals, we crushed them. 3 laps in 15 minutes? Check. 100 logic questions in 30 minutes? Check. Volleyball was also handled like champs. We were locked, loaded, and ready for battle. The big day finally arrived, and the whole school was buzzing. Banners everywhere, kids screaming their lungs out. It felt like the Super Bowl of school events. The first match was the relay race, and who else to kick things off but me and Jinu? You could practically see sparks flying between us just from the way we looked at each other.
I'm beating you this time.
Same old line. Let's see if magic finally works.
1, 2, 3, go!
The whistle blew, and I dashed off with everything I had, but Jinu slowly pulled ahead. I pushed harder, but in the end, he passed the baton first. I clenched my jaw. It's fine. This wasn't over. The match was getting intense, and our team was falling behind. Then the final runners were up. Just as the last boy was about to reach the finish line, he suddenly jumped, clutching his stomach and his butt face pale like a sheet. And boom! He ran off the track. Right then, Chloe crossed the line.
We won. Okay, maybe that win came with a little outside help. But whatever, let's keep the momentum.
Next round was the puzzle challenge. I sent in our ace, Myra, the smartest brainiac on our team. But things got sus real quick. The other team had this ridiculously handsome guy, and he kept winking and flashing bedroom eyes at Myra. And Myra looked like she just saw her K-drama crush in real life. She got all flustered and giggly. That's how Team Aaron took the win.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I'd be up against my actual crush.
Next was volleyball, and my girls were killing it. Even the boys couldn't keep up with our energy. Next was the obstacle race. I was up. I cleared each section one by one until I hit the final boss, the climbing wall. It was like 10 meters high. I looked over. My opponent was already halfway up. I panicked and just jumped on without strapping in. Halfway up, my hand slipped. Right before I hit the ground, someone caught me just in time. It was Jinu. I landed right on top of him and scrambled off in a total panic.
Sorry.
Are you seriously out of your mind? Why didn't you wear the safety belt? You think winning's worth breaking your neck?
I saw the pissed off look on Jinu's face and totally froze. I mean, he wasn't wrong, but what was with that attitude? Who made him the boss of me? The thank you I was about to say was swallowed.
Whatever. I didn't ask you to catch me.
So after 4 rounds, we were tied. The 5th and final round was gonna decide it all. But this one was different. We weren't competing at school this time. We'd be doing community service at an orphanage. Whoever the kids liked more, whoever got the most medals from them, would win. On the weekend, Jinu and I showed up at the orphanage. The kids were freaking adorable.
Come here, I'll teach you how to draw.
Drawing. Snooze fast. Come play tag with me. Way more fun.
It's scorching out. You really want to drag them into the sun?
Little sunshine never hurt anyone. Okay, kids, who wants to play tag? Raise your hands.
All the kids shot their hands up.
Jinu, come play with us too.
So I let the group outside, and of course Jinu got dragged along too. I pulled out a blindfold.
Better run fast or I'm catching everyone.
5 minutes in, I had tripped over a rock, smacked into a tree, and caught no one. Then I heard a sound from behind me. I spun around and hugged whoever it was, except something felt off. I yanked off the blindfold only to find Jinu's blushing face right in front of mine. Talk about peak embarrassment. That afternoon, I planned a surprise camping trip in the nearby woods.
The forest's huge. They could get lost. Let them play here.
You're overreacting. I'll bring everyone back safe and sound.
And with that, I took the kids into the woods, ignoring Jinu's warnings. We had a blast, laughing, playing, telling stories. Everything was going great. As the sun started setting, I rounded them up.
All right, kiddos, time to head back.
When we got to the gate, Jinu was already waiting.
Told you, everyone's fine.
The kids rushed over, throwing medals at me like candy.
I love Rumi. She took us on the best day ever.
In the end, I got 3 medals while Jinu only got 1. But deep down, I knew it didn't feel like a real win. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, I spotted Jinu still sitting outside on the swing. I hesitated for a bit, then finally walked over.
Hey, about today. Thanks.
Don't feel bad. Everything turned out fine.
I know the kids voted for me, but honestly, so this time I admit defeat. But don't get too comfortable. Next round, I'm taking you down.
Not a chance. I'd let you in because if I lose, you'd stop paying attention to me.
Huh?
You said once you only like people who are better than you, remember?
He turned bright red and walked off, leaving me frozen there, staring after him like a total dum-dum. Days like that, my mind drifted back to a warm, sunny day from way back when little Jinu had tugged shyly on my sleeve.
Rumi, I like you.
Well, I only like people who are better than me, you silly boy.
So that's what it was. And now I was actually looking forward to the next competition. Just one thing though, I wasn't sure if I still wanted to win.
A young Chinese couple moved to the US with their baby, and for 4 years they were struggling to make ends meet. So when the woman found out she was pregnant again, she was really upset.
Another child? Even one is too much.
Just then, her husband burst in and said he'd found an investor for his business.
Oh honey, our luck is about to turn.
And it did. Within a few months, the man's business was booming. They moved to a lovely house where they welcomed their second child, who was me. Hi, my name is Gia, which means extraordinary. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. My parents could spend hours gazing at me. They thought I was perfection itself and they gave me everything. I literally grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. All was perfect except for one problem. My older sister, Mia, she was weird. She would just glare at me or wake me up in the middle of the night. On my first birthday, my parents threw a huge party for the entire neighborhood as everyone gathered around the table. Then suddenly Mia jumped onto it.
I've never had a birthday party. I've never even had a cake. Why does she get everything?
Is that girl your daughter? You never mentioned any other kid than Gia.
Screamed, and then she went all Godzilla on my cake. She was banned from the party and my parents arranged for another cake within minutes. As I got older, I started realizing that my parents were really unfair to Mia. When I was 5, I got all the presents I wanted for Christmas, but she looked really mad at hers.
Why would you give me these ugly socks and a geography book?
What's wrong with the book? If you opened one, sometimes your grades would be better.
Why are you guys always like this with me, and never with Gia?
Because Gia is perfect. She's just easier to love.
I felt terrible as Mia's eyes welled up and she stormed off. She wouldn't even join us for the Christmas party, so I took food up to her room. Hey Mia, I brought you all your favorite.
Don't even bother, which, nothing you could ever do would make me hate you less.
The next day I was flipping through Gia's geography book when Mom said,
Oh, honey, you won't understand that you are too little.
Yes, I do. Mom and I just learned the names of all 50 states. Want to hear them? I rattled off the entire list and everyone stared at me.
You little genius, you just keep amazing me. This has to be some kind of world record, right?
My parents called every newspaper in town to come interview their wonder kid, and I was suddenly famous. Mom and Dad were showing me off everywhere, but even worse, they enrolled me in a fancy private school, not the public one where Mia was. As I was going in our limo on my first day, we drove past Mia walking to her school, and I felt sad. Why can't she go to my school, Mom?
Because she's dumb, sweetheart, and your school is so expensive, why should we waste money on her? You're the one with the big, bright future, so you're worth it then.
And I just kept growing further apart. Once in 5th grade, my parents were helping me prepare for the National Spelling Bee when Mia walked in and we gasped. She dyed her hair bright pink and was wearing the most amazing makeup, but my parents went bonkers.
What did you do to your hair? It was the one nice thing you inherited from me, and I never put on makeup till I was a married woman.
Everyone here wears makeup, Mom, and people tell me I'm really good at it. Maybe I could be a makeup artist one day.
Wow, we came all the way from China and struggled to give you an education so you can be some clown artist. Why can't you be more like Gia? You're an embarrassment to me and all our ancestors.
She left angrily. Guys, you need to stop this. She hates me because of you.
Oh baby, who cares what she thinks?
I care. I went after Mia and told her she looked beautiful. I expected her to be mean as always, but she kind of smiled at me.
Thanks, kiddo. You've always been nicer to me than the rest of them.
Was I hearing some kind words from Mia in this rare moment? I asked her if she'd like to come see me at the spelling bee and she said yes. I was nervous at the event because it was being shown on television, but I aced all the rounds and I won. Just then I heard Mia screaming.
She's a cheater, won by cheating. She was shouting that my parents had been helping me by spelling out the words.
My parents were furious, but when the camera footage was pulled out, we saw that they were mouthing the words, but I wasn't looking at them. I spelled the words myself, but the judges disqualified me immediately. The minute we got outside, I'm so mad right now. Why do you hate me? What did I ever do to you?
You were born, and you took everything I deserved.
My parents told Mia she was grounded for eternity.
Totally worth it.
Then, we can't go on like this. We're sisters. Wouldn't you rather have a fresh start instead of hating me forever?
No, I'd rather hate you forever. It's just easier to hate you.
As she stormed off, I decided I was done with her, and we hardly ever spoke after that. In the 8th grade, Dad announced one day that a friend's daughter, Sophia, would be coming from France to stay with us for some months. When she walked into our house, we were all awestruck by her beauty and style. She could also speak 5 languages and was a math wizard.
Wow, you're the perfect friend for Gia. You're like the big sister we wish she had.
Even though Sophia was 3 years older, we had a lot in common and we got close. One day, we heard some voices from Mia's room and we peeked inside. She was in front of her phone recording a makeup tutorial for TikTok. The minute she spotted us, she looked mad.
Why are you, jerk, spying on me? Buzz off and don't breathe a word of this to Mom and Dad or else.
We immediately checked out Mia's TikTok account and to our shock, she had 1 million subscribers. She was really talented. Later at dinner, Mia came downstairs with a new hairstyle, and Mom just couldn't control herself.
Is this what you do all day? Playing with your hair? What's gonna become of you?
Oh, I don't think you need to worry, Miss Chang. Mia is practically a TikTok star.
What on earth is a TikTok star?
And then Sophia showed them Mia's account on her phone. I could just see Dad turning purple.
I'm supposed to tell my relatives in China that my daughter is some internet idiot? We've been way too easygoing with you, Mia, and that was a mistake.
He stormed off to her room. He roughly flung all of Mia's belongings out the door.
What are you doing?
Are you crazy? Dad, stop it. Mia burst into angry tears and ran out of the house. When my parents stormed off, I turned to Sophia. Why did you do that?
I didn't know they'd react this way. I was only trying to help poor Fan because they're always putting her down. I thought they'd be proud of her.
Well, Sophia had no idea how crazy our parents really were. She tried apologizing, but Mia wouldn't even open the door for her. Weeks passed, and I was busy studying with Sophia for an important exam. The day before the exam, though, my parents had to go out of town.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, darling. Good luck.
The next morning when I woke up, it was super late. I'd set the alarm for 7, and now it was 10. The exam was over by now. My parents would be devastated. I ran downstairs when suddenly I stopped short. Mia was sitting in the living room with our parents and a very elegant woman.
Your daughter has a supermodel's face and people already love her. We want to collaborate with our makeup brand.
When my parents saw the check she handed, their eyes almost popped out. As Mia signed the deal and the woman left, I saw something extraordinary. My parents started hugging Mia.
Oh, darling, I had no idea you were so talented. I was still super upset about my exam and I burst in.
Mom, Dad, I missed my exam and…
What exam? Oh, for that high school? Who cares? Didn't you just hear Mia's amazing news? Come, darling, let's go for a fancy brunch.
What? The freaking fish just happened and suddenly I was living Mia's life. My parents couldn't stop showing her off and I was invisible. One day they told me Mia would be using the limo and I could take the bus to school.
It's time you learned to be a grown-up. Anyway, one day we weren't here and you just slept through your exam. So irresponsible.
Wow, who were these people? Sophia was my only ally here. Now, Mom and Dad threw a huge party to celebrate Mia's first modeling campaign. In the middle of it, the owner of the makeup brand burst in and she marched up furiously to Mia.
You stupid girl, how dare you post something like this about my brand?
What are you talking about?
This.
It was a post on Mia's Instagram with some makeup and the caption, "These products are tested on rabbits who are kept in terrible conditions. Boycott this cruel brand." Mia protested that she'd never posted this, but the woman wouldn't listen and threatened to sue her as she stormed off. Then suddenly pounced on me.
You did this, didn't you? You couldn't stand that I was getting the limelight for once.
Get off me, you psycho! It wasn't me. My parents tried to calm Mia down while they shouted at me for ruining her career and grounded me. This was crazy. Later that night, I was going down to the kitchen when I heard Sophia's voice from Mia's room.
You just turned 18, and you can leave these terrible people. Gia hates you, and your parents were awful to you before you became famous and rich. Forget them, and come with me to France. You'll be even bigger there.
And then suddenly it all clicked. It was Sophia creating all this chaos. Sophia, it's you! You made me miss my exam, and you posted that on Mia's Instagram. Sophia suddenly looked really evil.
Yeah, I did all that, but can't you see I've only exposed the truth about your greedy parents? They've always treated Mia like dirt till they thought she was worth something, and now they're treating you the same way. Well, you can stay here, Gia, and maybe you'll be their favorite daughter again. But Mia's going with me because I actually love her, and I'll treat her like a queen then.
And I were both stunned.
Sophia, you're crazy. You almost ruined my career to make me go with you. I don't love you, and I'm not going anywhere with you.
Sophia started screaming and dancing like a real maniac. Our parents came running in the noise, and when we told them everything she'd done, they sent her packing to France on the earliest flight. But the whole fiasco was a wake-up call for me. And then Sophia might be crazy, but she was completely right about our parents. Mom, Dad, you can't treat us like we only deserve your love if we're worth something, and you never let us have a normal relationship. This has to stop.
I'm not even waiting for you to change anymore. I'm moving out. Gia, would you like to come with me and maybe we could have a fresh start?
I instantly said yes, and no matter how much our parents begged, we decided it was best for us to move away from them. Family love should be unconditional, not dependent on achievements or talents. Treating children fairly and respecting their individual passions helps them feel accepted and more connected. Hi, I'm Brianna from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by my single dad, who owned a multi-million-dollar company. Even though he was super busy, he always put me first, and I felt truly loved. He worked from home till I was 3. And then he hired the best nannies to take care of me while he was away. Life was good, until one day something really strange happened. I was 4 years old, when one night I saw Dad working really late, and I decided to make him some hot chocolate. As I walked over to his desk, I suddenly tripped on the carpet and spilled it all over his laptop.
Oh my God, Brianna, you fried my laptop. It has so much important stuff on it.
Suddenly, I felt something happen to my face. I could feel my lips and nose and cheeks twitch uncontrollably. Dad noticed it and immediately took me to the doctor. She told us that face twitching was an involuntary condition, and it just happened to some people when they were stressed. There wasn't really any cure for it. When I turned 5, Dad enrolled me in the best school around. In the first lesson, the teacher asked us all to write a few lines about ourselves. But this girl next to me kept talking so loudly with her friends, I could hardly focus. Hi, can you make a little less noise, please? I'm trying to write and...
Gosh, are you telling me you're as stupid as you look? But don't interrupt me again.
Just then my face twitched, and she looked even angrier as the others laughed. She thought I was mocking her. And after that day, Mona became my sworn enemy. And it just stayed that way forever, even when we got older. Once, when I was in 7th grade, Dad and I got stuck in traffic on our way home, and we saw a homeless couple on the pavement fighting over a sandwich. A boy my age was sitting near them with a basket of apples, and he came running towards us.
Sir, would you like to buy a pound of apples? It only costs $1. And with that, I'll buy dinner.
Dad bought 5 pounds and gave him $200. The boy's face lit up and he skipped off happily.
Poor kid. He should be in school, but his parents can't afford it.
Dad, why don't we do that? Let's send him to school. Please, can we? He smiled and nodded. A week later, Dad enrolled him in my school, and when the teacher introduced him to the class, I found out his name was Jack. He didn't seem to recognize me, and I never brought it up that I'd seen him before or that my dad was the one who helped him. I didn't want him to feel embarrassed, but the rest of the kids were brutal, especially that Mona.
Hey Jack, why do you walk to school every day? Where's your car, man?
Come on, guys. Can't you see how poor he is? His pants are 2 sizes too small for him, and all he eats for lunch are apples.
I wanted to punch her face, but Jack didn't even react and walked away. I asked Dad to get him new clothes, and the next day, Jack looked so much happier. One day at the end of class, the teacher asked Jack to collect everyone's assignments. As he was walking through the aisle, someone stuck a leg out, and he tripped and landed hard on the floor. I rushed forward to help him, but Mona got there first and threw a whole bottle of ink on him. That was it. I grabbed her bag and threw everything out of the window. She screamed and pulled my hair. I turned around and slapped her face as we wrestled. We went crashing into a poor kid's solar system project, sending planets flying everywhere. We both ended up in detention, but it was worth it. The next day, I saw Jack walking towards me in the hallway, and I felt nervous. It was the first time we'd be talking. As he got close, my face started twitching. He stopped and abruptly turned away. Oh no, Jack. Please stop. I didn't mean to tease you.
You just wrinkled your nose like I'm something disgusting. I thought you were different after what you did yesterday.
Just let me explain, will you? I told him about my condition, and his face softened. We started hanging out after that, and soon we became friends. Well, I started having a small crush on him. He was sweet and simple, unlike any of the other rich hoity-toity boys I knew. A few days later, at a park entrance, someone was selling lottery tickets, and we both got a ticket each for fun. The results were posted online the next day, but Jack said he was too nervous to look. I laughed and took both tickets and started scrolling through the results. My eyes almost popped out when I saw some numbers. The winning one was mine. OMG, I just won the $10 million lottery. I didn't really need it, but this money could change Jack's life. So without another thought, I switched our tickets. Oh my god. Oh my god! Jack, you've won freaking $10 million! Can you believe this? He stared at me in shock, then started whooping and jumping around like a crazy monkey. It was the best moment of my life. I was so excited to meet him after the weekend. But as soon as I entered school, I spotted him in a corner surrounded by some kids, including Mona. Gosh, couldn't they just leave him alone? I rushed forward and shouted, "Just knock it off and stop bullying."
No, Brianna, relax. They're my friends.
I stared at him in disbelief. Friends? These guys? Turns out, Jack was on the local news for being the lottery winner, and now everyone in school was suddenly his friend. Kids were swarming over to our table at lunch and nearly knocked me off trying to sit closer to him. Everyone wanted to know what he'd do with his millions, and, well, he was spending them. One day, the flashiest red sports car drove up to school, and Jack jumped out of the back seat. He was now wearing branded clothes and carrying the latest iPhone, showing everyone pictures of his mansion. I was really happy for him, but he was suddenly so busy with all these new people and going to parties, I barely got to see him anymore. So one day, I texted him to ask if we could meet later, and he said he'd love to take me out for dinner. In fact, he picked out a really fancy restaurant, and it kind of felt like a date. But I was so mad when I kept waiting for 3 hours, and he never showed up. He wouldn't even pick up his phone. On my way home, we were driving past some cafes, when suddenly I yelled at my driver to stop. I spotted Jack under a streetlight, putting his scarf around a girl's neck and pulling her in for a kiss, and the girl was freaking Mona. I stormed over to them. What the heck, Jack? You stood me up for dinner, and what are you doing with her?
He's kissing me. Twitchy face. Because I'm his girlfriend.
His what? Jack, are you crazy?
Gosh, Brianna, I totally forgot about dinner. And no, I'm not crazy. Mona has apologized for everything to me, and she's actually really sweet.
No, she's not, Jack. Can't you see? She's suddenly into you because you're rich. That's why all those other people are your friends, too.
What's your problem, Brianna? Why can't you just be happy for me? Does it bother you that I'm not your poor friend anymore? The one you can feel sorry for and take care of? You just can't stand that I'm as rich as you now.
I can't believe you just said that. And suddenly, my face started twitching horribly.
God, I hate when your face does that. It's so annoying.
I snapped and slapped him across the face. I don't even know who you are anymore. And with that, I ran back to my car with angry tears down my face. I was heartbroken, and I told Dad everything that had happened that night.
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. And I'm sad to hear Jack's turned out this way. He'll soon realize he's lost the best friend he ever had.
Well, it didn't look like it would be anytime soon because he and Mona were now the hottest new couple in school. I could hardly stand to look at those two. But thankfully, the next few weeks, I was too busy working with my science club members to see much of them. Some professors from Harvard were coming to judge our projects, and we had a chance of winning a spot in a super exclusive summer program. When it was my turn to speak out at our presentation, I started off really confident. But just then, I spotted Mona and Jack in the auditorium, pointing and making faces at me. I tried to focus, but I felt so flustered my face started twitching, and I forgot all my words. I turned to leave, and I tripped and crashed straight into our project. As I saw Mona and Jack laughing from the corner of my eye, I picked myself up and ran away from there. I couldn't believe my best friend had become a spiteful jerk, ruining everything for me. I just never spoke to him again. A few days before the end of high school, I was walking past the principal's office when I saw Jack inside.
What's happened to you this past year? You've ignored all my warnings and now you've failed 3 subjects. You're not graduating high school. You'll have to repeat a year.
What? Come on, surely we can find another solution. How about I pay you 10 grand and you make my bad grades go away?
Get out of my office, Jack.
I quickly walked off before he could see me. He was so smart, but he'd just been wasting his time over stupid things. And Mona publicly dumped him the same day when she found out because she said she didn't want to be with a loser anymore. I graduated high school with flying colors. And of course, Dad came to attend.
Oh, hello, sir. I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Well, I was hoping to see you graduate along with my daughter, Jack.
Your daughter? What's her name?
Brianna.
What? Brianna is your daughter?
Yes. In fact, she's the one who insisted I send you to school all those years ago. You have a lot to thank her for, son, including that lottery ticket you think you won.
I was gathering my stuff from the locker when suddenly I found Jack standing behind me. What do you want?
Brianna, I know what you did. What kind of crazy person gives away $10 million?
What? How do you know that?
It doesn't matter, just tell me. Why did you do that for me?
Jack, when I saw you as a kid on the roadside, it broke my heart to think you didn't get as lucky as me to be born to rich parents. That lottery ticket was also just dumb luck. I didn't do anything to deserve it, but I really believed you deserved a better life. I still believe that, and I don't regret giving you the money at all.
I can't believe I was such a terrible jerk to the best person in my life. I'm really sorry. I don't deserve your forgiveness or your friendship, and I won't ever bother you again. Goodbye, Brianna. I hope you have a wonderful life.
He walked away, and I had a lump in my throat as I watched him leave. A few years later, at university, I was studying in the library one evening when I realized it was quite late. As I was walking back to my apartment, I suddenly felt like I was being followed. I looked around to find 2 masked men right behind me. I tried to run, but they caught up instantly, and one of them snatched my bag as the other pushed me to the ground. Just then, someone came out of the shadows and punched one of them. To my shock, I saw it was Jack. The 2 men started beating him up as I screamed for help. Just then, a policeman came around the corner, and the 2 men ran away. I called an ambulance, and I immediately rushed Jack to the hospital. He was unconscious and in really bad shape. He went into a coma. 10 days later, I was sleeping on a chair by his bed when I felt a hand on mine. Oh my God, you're awake!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Jack, why were you there that night? How did you even know where I was?
I regret what I did to you so much, Brianna, so I made a promise to myself to always look out for you. I was too stupid to notice, but all those years, you were my guardian angel. You watched over me and stood up for me when no one else did. I owe you my life forever, and I love you, Brianna.
Finally! You sound like that sweet boy I used to be friends with. I forgive you, Jack, and I love you too. And with that, I leaned in for a kiss.